said it.
I heard it.
Special guest.
Special guest.
Brian Klein. Mark.
Dan.
It's been a long day.
Well, yeah. It has been a long day.
Has been.
Has
been. But how you doing?
I'm doing good.
How do you feel after the first day of cracking into Wave 2?
I am super excited about fixing decks. We had a whole bunch of stuff that we thought was going to be great. It actually looked great on paper, and then we played cards and flipped them, and they were horrible. Yeah. And others that we were just like, this is whatever.
Tanks.
I never thought that was going to be good. I thought the Windblade deck looked good.
Yeah, it didn't act
It did not act good. No.
It did not. I thought it was interesting.
And I thought the 3-wide Optimist deck with confidence looked okay, and it just got wrecked because it didn't have Flame War.
All right. We'll wheel back to that.
All right.
Which characters today impressed you the most?
Impressed me, like meaning I didn't think they were going to be good?
No, in general. Which ones just were you like, man, either you were spot on, you were spot wrong, they came out of nowhere?
So, I mean, I really thought that I knew Starscream was going to be good.
Uh-huh.
And Starscream is very good.
He's good.
But you need to build your deck around him. You need to center it with Mining Pick, Decepticon Crown, Security Console. Without those cards, he's not great. Mm-hmm. But with those cards, he seems like an unstoppable force. He's very, very good. So he is clearly a build-around-me card. A little, not like Optimus Prime where you just have to put actions in your deck. You don't really have to build around him.
Yeah.
Starscream, you have to build around. You have to cater your deck towards him. But when you do, it's absurd.
That sounds good.
Some of the 5-drops were good, the 5-star guys. Drag Strip really impressed me.
Drag Strip was solid.
Yeah, so you just attack, draw 2 cards.
I don't even care to do damage.
Make them waste an attack, maybe 2.
I don't even care. Yeah, a lot of the times it was 2.
He was super impressive, and it wasn't even in a blue shell.
No.
It was insanely impressive.
Anytime you turned him sideways and he drew you 2 cards, you just felt
on top of the world. Like just the king of the world.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm Jack.
Yeah.
You can be my Rose.
That's fine. I mean, fine.
Yeah, so I was also pretty impressed with the one build of Sentinels that we saw. It wasn't a defensive deck at all. It was just an orange deck that just tried to kill your opponent, and then the finishing move is just Enigma, kill him. It's kind of played the way Bugs does, where you're just kind of trading your guys for stuff, and you just get to basically start with 3 actions in your opening hand by having your guys in the KO pile.
The Mirage, just strip your hand before you go.
Yep.
That felt pretty good.
Yeah, it looked good. It hurt.
He's on the play. His first action is
flip Mirage, attack with
Disruptive
Iron Eye. Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's good. So you don't even get to look at your hand.
You start with 2 cards and you're like, great.
Yeah. It really, that was impressive. So that lineup, the Sentinel lineup, was impressive. That build anyway.
I like the new Bumblebee.
Yeah. That card was very impressive.
The extra attack matters. I think the extra actions you're getting to play and the extra drawing, I don't know if our list that we played today really came together, but I did like what he did to the list. And I like the whole idea that you do get to fill and siphon, through the deck.
I think the list that we have is probably
it's a tough deck to play.
5 to 8 cards off.
It probably is.
And sometimes, once again, I think you need 7 untap effects. The build that we had
only 5.
5, but it's because we were trying to bank on Bumblebee drawing them. I think you need to have 7 because without them, your deck's garbage. I think, and then if you have extras, you just pitch them to Bumblebee to draw extra cards.
Yeah, I think maybe that's what we overlooked.
Yeah.
Maybe we overlooked it okay, well, if we get extras, whatever.
Right.
We could just get rid of them.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we missed.
Yep.
I do think the games that you got there that you could play and untap were, you felt a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think. I mean, honestly, we can go back to it again. It's not a Wave 2 card, but Flame War was still Flame War today. Like,
yes.
Anyone that thinks that Flame War is going away is wrong. That card's not going anywhere. It's still good. It was on, like, it felt like half the decks we had made still had Flame War in them.
If your deck was blue, you had Flame War.
It's still the best 5 Decepticon you could possibly have.
It's the best 5.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Fine. I mean, like,
people think RC is up to snuff. RC doesn't hold a candle to Flame War.
No, not to Flame War, no.
And a lot of the other guys, all the others, combiner pieces that are 5, don't do what Flame War does.
I mean, like, unless you're trying to go the confidence route, and you really, really don't want the Decepticon 5, and you're just like, all right, let me try and fill this in with one of the...
Speaking of confidence, that card really did not impress me today.
No, I was pretty underwhelmed.
So it was, when it was good, but there were multiple times in different games and multiple matches where you played confidence, drew 2 cards,
and then
discarded 2 cards, and then
didn't play
another action.
It happened a lot.
So at that point, it's just a worse version of Inspiring Leadership, but it's orange.
Yeah, and you draw a less card, you get an orange pit.
Right, and you have to contort your team to only be Autobots.
Yeah.
Now, some places, like in the Cars matchup, that doesn't really matter, but we definitely saw it matter in the 3-wide Optimus. Giving up, I think Flame War helps that deck more than Confidence does.
Yeah, I think.
And that could have been a mistake that we made. Also, that if you have Confidence in your deck, you don't want to play 1, you want to play 3, and that's basically a defensive deck.
Yeah.
So, like, that also hampers your defensive ability, stuff like that. It was good in the Sentinel deck that we saw.
It was good in Sentinels.
It was very good because you were able to do that.
I think it was fine in Cars, too.
I think it was fine, but there were still multiple times where we just drew 2, discarded 2, and then didn't play an action.
I just think that just came down to the fact that you have so many ways to play extra actions that maybe that's just not
And it's possible that maybe in that deck you only need 1 Confidence.
Yeah,
you need 2
might not
Confidence.
need 3. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those. It's a new card. You gotta test it out, see what it does.
Yeah.
And the card was good when it was good, but I was underwhelmed by the amount of times where you just drew 2, discarded 2, and didn't do anything else. So that to me doesn't seem worth the slot.
Looted through your deck.
Yep.
And didn't get any extra value. No, I agree to that. I'm trying to think of some of the other cards that really stood out to me. The blue specialist bolt, or no, not the specialist bolt, the tap your guy.
Inferno Breath.
Yeah, Inferno Breath. That card was good today.
Yeah.
I was pretty impressed.
Yep.
You can just so easily just tap your Flame War, or you were playing it in the Cars build, so you were literally, you multi-mission geared, casted this, tapped your Prowl down, dealt 3 damage, and then turbo engines or
turbo boosters, start your engines,
like you just
whatever it was.
You literally now got to 3 somebody and ready your guy. I'm like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it was good when it was good. There were times where it was awkward, but I don't think it was ever bad.
Yeah.
It was just awkward timing of when you drew it.
Yeah.
So, and that could also just be the deck construction, your lineup, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, of course.
So, Steamroll's good.
Steamroll
is a good card.
Steamroll's real
Grimlock
good.
is good. We just took his text box off.
Yeah.
And made it
colorless.
We just copy and pasted that homework.
Yeah.
And when your guys have like 15 attack,
17.
Yeah, that's good. If Grimlock doesn't have to just be on Grimlock,
yeah,
it's a good card.
It's pretty good for Barrage, Wheeljack,
Starscream. It's probably good on Dreadwing.
Yeah. 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 It was good. Going into the day, like, I was on my radar. Coming out of the day, it's really on my radar.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, okay, that card can do some damage.
We built a deck that was focused around it. It was in a bunch of other decks as like singletons.
Yep.
And then every time we were playing, it's like, man, if I just draw Steamroll, this game is over.
Yeah.
So it's like we wanted to increase that.
When you start talking about that, you're talking about like, okay, this card is going to be pretty dominant.
This card is going to be good, but it's weird because like you don't want to have 3 of it.
Yeah, you definitely probably never want to see the second one.
But you always want to see one if it's in your deck.
You need, like, I don't think you need to, but I think you definitely want one, And
it's probably like on your third turn or after the wheel.
I mean, and like, we didn't even get into this, but like, it might even be a good one-off for Optimus. You know,
it was in the Optimus deck.
I didn't see.
It was in the Optimus deck. It was just the deck. The deck was getting crushed by Grimlock and other Steamroll decks.
Yeah.
Which is fine, and that could have been just the build that we had was.
Yeah. Once again,
confidence.
Once again, we went off confidence, took away Flame War, and probably lost some defense to the deck.
Yep, we definitely did.
So, trying to think if there's any other crazy cards. I mean, we played so many cards today.
We did play a bunch of cards.
I like marksmanship.
Yes, it's a little awkward at times where it forces you to sometimes only shoot a certain thing. There's also going to be some play patterns, which we weren't privy to them today, whereas there's times where you shouldn't flip your guy, that way they can't play marksmanship.
Yeah.
It takes an out away from your opponent, but these were new cards we had to learn that.
Which is, it's definitely odd because, you know, there's so many times where you're like, oh, I don't want to waste my flip. You know, like I want to make sure
I just want to do it.
I just want to get there to get there, you know, but like there might be games where, you know, you're just like, you know what, I don't need to be in that mode this turn. I shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I'm just going to give too
Or it's one of those that, so if you look at the way the bugs are, you know, generally sometimes they flip barrage or kickback, and usually it never mattered which guy you flipped if you were attacking with Scrapnel and then your other crappy guy. Now it matters.
Yeah.
Because the guy that's flipped, they can shoot.
Yeah.
So you usually want your first one to be barrage.
But now you might not.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Like now you're just giving up 2 health on barrage.
Correct.
Like the 2 health on kickback probably doesn't matter.
Right, because kickback's going to die in an attack anyway.
So if you have to make them
8 or 10, doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's not going to matter. But like for barrage, it definitely matters.
Yes.
So
barrage needs to be clean.
You're definitely going to be flipping him earlier, or I mean, not likely, but you might even be flipping like just chop shop earlier too, just to like continue the turns in which they can't play that card. You just make it dead longer.
Well, it doesn't make it dead. It's just they have to target a guy.
Yeah,
they don't get the choice.
Yeah, but you don't care. I mean, the chances are they're just going to hit Shrapnel with it. But
yeah, sure. Yeah.
That's what I would do.
But I think in like the other decks, or maybe in the Optimus decks, like so, you can't shoot a small guy, depending on your build. The build that we had, you just use it to flip Optimus Prime as many times as possible. You can't pick off a small guy with marksmanship because if it's in alt mode, you can't target it.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that comes up, and it's just little intricacies that we haven't really seen.
Yeah.
Obviously, the card pool has doubled.
Yeah.
So a lot more stuff's going to happen.
What about, so we didn't really talk about any green cards yet. So we have, some of the cards for me that definitely stuck out today was Espionage.
Yeah.
That card seemed real good today. You know, it's one of those, like, it's green, so when it comes up, you're like, I'm going to get that.
Yep.
And then, like...
If you don't want it, you don't get it.
Either A, yeah, if you don't want to get it, but then, like, it turns into A, like, off a treasure hunt, you know what cards are in their hand. Off of them getting their own green back, you know what cards are in their hand. So, like, at the very least, you can pick off a card if you want to, or you just play your outs and you're like, well, I lose to this card, so I play this card, and I'm just going to... If they have it, great, I get rid of it. If they don't have it, then I know I'm in good shape.
Can't beat start your engines, blue.
Yeah.
Can't beat turbo boosters.
Yeah.
You have to pick one of those. Or
can't beat, I lose the grenade launcher, orange.
Yep.
You know, press the advantage.
Yep, that card was very good on Autobots versus Decepticons.
Yeah.
And it was even just fine.
I mean, +2 attack is +2 attack.
Yeah, as an action that you can guarantee.
Yeah, when you just get it whenever you want.
Yes.
You know? Trying to think what other greens... I mean, Crown. Like, we didn't talk about that.
Well, we didn't talk about that.
We can tell you, it's good.
It's good.
It's good.
It's good.
Trying to think of the other one. So the Bold 2 equipment.
Yeah. So that card was all right in cars.
Yeah.
Just because it's blue. Bold is good with Wheeljack, obviously. We tried it in some other things. It was just a one-of that we were trying. Like, so that's the neat thing about having these green pips.
Yeah.
You can just play singleton copies, and when they come up,
Yeah.
you can get them. And if they're in your opening hand, they're not good, you can usually get rid of them.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things we try to jam a bunch of them into our decks.
Just to try them.
Just to try them out and be like, oh, this was cool here, this is good
The
here.
blasters, you know.
Yep.
The blasters. Autobots, both of them.
I mean, so Bashing Shield.
Bashing Shield. There we go.
That's a good one.
That's a good one, yeah. That card's good.
Right. but it's only good in certain matches.
That's fine.
Which is fine because then you just don't get it. And the matches where it's good, you actively want to flip it.
Well, yeah, it's not even that. Like, so in Wave 1, you know, at the end of Wave 1, we were going up to like 4 and 5 ways to destroy armor. Because like we were like, we have to draw this card or we just straight lose the armor. This way, most of our stuff today was only playing 2 bashing shields.
Yep.
Because like, it's green. So like, when it flips, I just get it.
Yep.
You know?
And
like,
you can treasure hunt for it.
Yeah, you can treasure hunt. You can still treasure hunt, all that fun stuff. But it's more or less just like, well, if it flips over, I'm just going to get it now. Like, even if they didn't have an armor, it's like, I'm still going to get this card because, like...
I don't want to lose to an armor.
I don't want to lose to an armor if I just decide I'm not going to get this card, you know?
Because that's what's going to happen. And I think a lot of people are just not going to have the foresight to take something that they're going to need in 2 turns.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that.
And I think that will come with practice. You know, it's... reps being like, well, I lost to him drawing, you know, reinforced plating 2 turns from now.
Yeah. How much do you like just in general? How much did the green pips change? You know, the wave of play. You know, like how often you're like, man, I really have to make the decision if I want this green card or not.
I think it happened. It actually adds a whole new level of depth to this game.
It really does.
And you know, I think we also took a little longer today, so we could assess the situation, talk about it.
Yeah.
Be like, well, do I need to do this? So also that thing is you need to plan out your additional turns for when you're going to get that green card. What are you giving up for this effect, this action, this upgrade, whatever? Especially if it's one that you are not going to play right away, the following turn.
Yeah.
So I found that we were, I don't know if it was just the way it happened, but I think it was actually better when we would take it on our attack than on defense. Because I think then that influences, like, so if you get a bashing shield when you attack, it's going to make your opponent play differently. They're just not going to play in armor. And so if they don't play in armor for the turn, because they don't want to get blown up, because they know you have the answer to it, they're going to wait till they have an answer to your bashing shield. So the bashing shield is killing their armor without you actually having to play it.
Yeah.
So it keeps the armor off the table longer. So certain cards like that, bashing shield, we didn't play any with the one that kills the weapon.
Yeah.
No,
I don't think you should.
Right. We didn't play any of the... When we played the blasters, it was just, oh, I'm going to get this. I'm either going to equip it right away or it's going to get pitched to Megatron or...
I also found that a lot of the times, like, I would pitch to get a green card, and then, like, literally on defense, another green card come up, and I would just...
A better one.
I would just pitch the other green card just to get that one. Just
right, like, you're just upgrading your cards.
You're constantly just putting yourself in playing the best card every turn.
Yeah.
So that's what I enjoyed the most about it. It was like... Because like, we did play a lot of green cards today, like, and I think it was on purpose, most of it. It's like, I want to play, you know, maybe 4 1-0 green cards just to see at what point during the day it was going to be that good.
Yeah, and when they were good, and when they weren't, you just pitched them to get a different green card.
Yeah.
Which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat. It's never just a bad card. Yeah. I don't think any of us, in any of the 12 decks that we played with today, or 13 decks.
It might have been more. Who the hell knows?
Yeah. I don't think anybody had a ramming speed.
No.
Wow. I didn't see any.
I mean, like, I'm not saying that they don't have a place. Because I do think a lot, we didn't really talk about it, but a lot of good utilities were played today. So, like, I think ramming speed may find its way back into some decks for sure. Because, like, security console, that card was good. Really good with Crown, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So I could see ramming speed, you know, as the meta develops and we see really what everyone's playing, that you might see ramming speed back in some decks.
Right. Also, it gets around checkpoint, which I don't think we had we had some people where they just got blown out by checkpoints. They were leaning on having Crown and Bashing Shield. They got checkpointed out of the game and they just lost the game because of it. Ramming speed alleviates that problem. The difference is you just can't guarantee you're going to have it. So it's, you know, it's going to take time building if you're like figuring out when you need a card, what you need it to do, how many of that effect you want to play. Maybe you can split them. Yeah. So that'll be interesting to see that develop.
So I do want to, I think we kind of might have saved this one on accident for last. After the first day of playing, how do you feel about mining pick?
Oh, still the best card. It's the best card in the game. The best battle card in the game. And people that say it's not aren't playing it enough, or they're playing it wrong.
That card's good.
Yeah.
The
card is excellent.
The card is good.
That card is excellent. So if it's not good, your deck's built poorly.
It's good.
Or you're too worried about keeping cards in your hand and not killing your opponent.
Even when your deck's not built correctly, that card still reads +3 attack minimum.
If you put an orange on top, yes.
No, +1. Put 2 cards on. That's.
Oh right, yeah. So like you're gonna play in 2, but you're not gonna play in 2 unless you're an orange deck.
Maybe.
So then it's like +5 or 6.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of times.
And if it's Starscream, it's +9.
It's +1 million. Who knows?
If you put 2 crowns on top,
and if you
attack, that's +9.
If you don't
plus his 6 base, plus the 2 cards he gets because crown is white.
Yeah, and if
16.
If you don't think any of that's possible,
you're wrong.
You're building your deck wrong.
Yes,
because that's what I did all day.
Yeah. So
and then on top of that, I played it on defense too.
Yes. It wasn't as big because you only got to play in 1.
Damn. Damn. We're God.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
Did anyone master plan today?
Not that I saw.
You know what? Someone's doing it wrong. We're doing it next time.
Maybe.
No, we're not.
Master plan all 3 crowns? Yeah, you don't have to play in 6.
Just playing 3 is good enough.
Well, yeah, if it's Starscream, so that's what? Plus, if you have a pick and play. So
yeah.
That's 4, and that's plus 13, so he's at 19, and you get to flip 1 more card.
The only problem with that is you can't steamroll.
Well, if you have Brainstorm.
Stop it. On that note, we played all these games today for a reason.
Yeah.
So we got some events coming up.
We do.
March
is packed around us.
I don't even know if I'm going to make it to all these events, but I'm excited with the option to try and make it to all these events.
Yeah.
What do we got next week?
Next week is the 9th. It's currently listed as a case event at the Adventurers Guild in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So, if you are within driving distance, you should come support that store. A few of us will be there, hopefully.
Gonna try.
Yeah. So, that'll be cool. It'll be their first event, so hopefully the more people that show up, the more likely they're going to have another one.
Even that, like, it's their first event, and they're still attempting to commit to a case event, you know?
They're attempting to, but I think they're guaranteeing you that 32 players.
Yeah.
That would be great if they hit that.
And
I
just
don't
think
know if
about
they're
it,
going to.
Wave 2 just came out yesterday, as of recording this.
Mm-hmm.
It came out yesterday. What better way than to try and start off your Wave 2 collection than to try and get to this event?
Yep.
Because even if you just top 4,
you'll get at least a box.
You're getting a box.
Yeah.
You know? So, that's a big deal. You know?
Yep.
And then, so that's next week.
That is the 9th, yes.
And then the 16th, which we've already promoted once.
Yep, that's it. Top Deck Games in Jersey.
Same thing.
Same thing again.
Case event, 32 players. Going to be there. Last time they even went less than 32. Still gave it the case. Props them.
Yep.
You know, they're really trying.
Think that one's going to, and we had what, 21?
We had 21, and I got a feeling we're going to have more.
Yeah, I think we had a few guys that couldn't make it to that one, or some regulars that couldn't make it.
Yeah, I think we're going to.
Yep.
I think, I would bet that might be the first tournament that breaks 30.
Yeah, that'd be excellent.
I think it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Great.
And then...
The following week currently is off.
It's off, but it's also PAX East.
Okay, so it's not off.
It's not off. It's PAX East.
It's just the driving distance is farther for us.
Yeah, so if you're up north, you're going to PAX East, and you're playing,
awesome.
I want to hear about it.
Yeah.
I want to hear about it.
We will have some sweet decks for you to play and crush everyone.
You got 2 weeks to hear about it.
Get mining pick, if they're going to have mining pick in them.
If Mark has anything to say about it.
They're going to have mining pick in them, or your deck's wrong. So.
And then the final week of March
is the 30th?
Is the 30th.
That's a Showcase Game and Comics in Swarthmore, Pennsylvania?
Swarthmore, Pennsylvania.
Yep. Right outside of Philly?
Yeah, it's about, I mean, if like you're talking about like Center City, Philly, you're probably about 20, 25 minutes outside of Philly.
Yeah. So it's close to New Jersey, Philadelphia.
Yeah, it's right in the ring. I mean, like, we're just lucky.
I think so.
At the end of the day, like, just 3 stores running 3 different events on 3 different weekends at the start of Wave 2 is
great.
It's pretty awesome.
It is great.
It's pretty awesome.
And so right now it's also kind of like...
There's not much of an excuse if you want to play this game to not come play this game. Like,
if
you have 3 different stores...
If you're within 2 hours of any of them...
Yeah, like you have 3 different stores in 3 different weeks. If you want to play this game, you make time, you come play this game, you support these stores because they're trying to keep this game going and they want it to succeed.
And the prize support is good.
Yeah, yeah.
The prize support is up there. It's not 1 pack per player, that kind of stuff.
No,
it's not
if you're coming, you're going to play.
It's a tournament level event.
Yeah.
$20, $30 entries, but that is reflected in the prize payout.
Yeah, I mean, when we say this case event,
it's 2 cases to top 8.
It's 9 boxes.
So it's 2 cases plus a box.
Yeah, to the top 8 players, and that's
a lot.
That's
a lot of product for $30 a person.
At 30 guys.
Yeah.
If you get the 30 guys.
Yep.
You know? So it's awesome for these stores doing that.
Yeah. And I mean, they're doing that. I'm going to keep showing up.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Unless, I can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So, speaking of that, next week's first week.
First week.
Yeah. First Wave 2 event that you're going to get to play in.
Yes, as long as something horrible doesn't happen to me.
Oh, way to go.
Yeah. If it does, that's okay, but then somebody else can maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. We got all types of new decks. I think I personally played, I don't know, 4 decks today, and I probably played against another 5 or 6 when it's all said and done.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
Yeah. That'll be a fun event. Fun thing for you guys.
Maybe.
It'd be fun
for Dan.
Less fun for Mark. But
it's karma. It was okay. It was karmic for a bunch of bug games, so it was karmic.
Alright, so if we're going to get a little bold, what do you think that top 4 next week might look like?
Top 4. I think we're going to see a Starscream deck.
I would be shocked if there's not a Starscream deck.
Yeah.
I'll be shocked.
So, I think we're going to see a Starscream deck.
Yep.
I think also knowing some of the players from this area that I know are going, I think we're going to see a Sentinel deck.
Okay.
We're going to see that in the top 4.
I think if you can get it figured out.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's close.
It's close. It's very close.
I think it was close. I think I can respect that.
Probably about 5 or 6 cards off of what it should be.
Yep.
But, that's just, you got to play with it and figure it out.
It might be more. Who knows?
It might be, yeah.
It might be numbers.
Yep.
Might just be what numbers I need to play.
Yep. So I think it's going to be Sentinels, Starscream. And maybe they're just they don't need a character, they just need a few commons and uncommons to upgrade their deck.
It got some good commons and uncommons.
It did, it got marksmanship.
It got marksmanship.
They'll play that. It is a
rare. Oh, I don't have to play a blank now?
Yeah, it is a rare, so there is that. There's a bunch of other cards depending on how you build your deck.
There's Steamroll.
There is Steamroll. So,
try it.
What do you think is going to be in top 4?
I agree with Starscream all the way. I'll definitely put an Optimus deck in there. I'm not sure. I'm gonna be honest. I think there's a lot of ways you can try Optimus in Wave 2.
So, are we considering the Sentinel deck an Optimus deck?
No.
You're just saying Battlefield Legend.
Battlefield Legend, for sure.
All right, fair.
But like I said, I think there's plenty of things that we didn't even explore yet.
Yeah.
Like
we had a whole bunch of product to open. We couldn't do it all.
Yeah.
A bunch.
Yeah.
Never again. We'll probably do it for Wave 3.
He'll do more.
But I'm going to have lackeys.
We're going to do more for Wave 3.
Yes. Yes.
Spoiler alert, there'll be more.
Yeah.
So, like I said, like, I it's so hard for me to predict, like, what kind of Optimus deck we're going to be, because, like, I can see 3-wide still being a deck. We didn't even really discuss the option of going Optimus and the new Megatron, which I still think could be an interesting play.
With some stars, right?
With some stars. You get 2 stars out of that, right? Yeah, so you get 2 stars. So, like, you can get Leap of Faith now with Optimus and do some really silly, stupid things. If that's what you choose to do. And, you know, there's so many other things that Optimus can do now. We saw the 3-wide today with just Autobots, which it didn't seem to work out, but that could be a combination of a couple things. It could just be in the deck list and needs to be fine-tuned. You know, who knows?
It could. We could also see, like, the aggressive Optimus deck.
I mean,
because they get Steamroll.
Yeah,
Steamroll's a real card with Optimus Prime.
I think you kind of could get there, sure.
Yeah.
Like I said, I just have... There's no doubt in my mind that you're not going to see an Optimus Prime deck do well at these events. Like, it's just going to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say it's probably a little too early for Cars.
Yeah.
I think Cars is going to need a couple weeks of tuning.
I think so, and I think people still have that memory of it being not as good against Primes.
Yeah, but
so
now you've got some cards.
Reflexive memory.
Once again, we can go back to Steamroll.
Yeah.
Steamroll is going to make Cars have a matchup against these tough blue decks because they're going to be able to ignore the guy with shields.
Yep.
They're going to be able to just go right past them, pick off a little leak wink, and deal 7, 8, 9 damage to the guy with tough. Like, yep. I'm telling you, the card's going to be good, but I still think it's a couple weeks away.
You got to figure out the numbers. You got to figure out what you need to plan for.
You got to figure out which green cards are the most worth it and stuff like that. I'm going to keep that out for now. I think I'm just going to go with an oldie but goodie on your behalf. I think we're going to see a bug still. I think the card, they just got too many good orange cards for it not to be a relevant deck.
There's a sweet article in VectorSigma.info if you want to check that out.
Sweet article.
There's a sweet article. Probably needs to add a 3rd crown to it though, but the guy that wrote it's an idiot. So you should just play a 3rd crown in there.
And then I don't know. I'm gonna round off. I tell you what. I think I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna take the Sentinels also. I think that deck is real. You know, and I think that it's just as close as some of the other decks we named of being a top contender, and I think more of anything I want to see it there. You know, I want to see one of these combiners truly succeed in this meta. Yep. And after today of watching and hearing and listening, I think that one to me feels like it's the closest right now.
Yeah, I think it's the closest because it doesn't need to rely on the enigma
at all. But it's great that you can get there, and when you do need it, it's gonna win you a game.
Yep. So and also we really didn't build Stunticons. We didn't build Menasor. We didn't build aerial bots.
Someone here did.
Yes. So they were here.
So they were here. They played a couple games, and we heard this or that, but we didn't personally play with it or against it.
Right, because we were interested in trying to build a bunch of other decks.
Yeah.
We were trying to build this cool Windblade deck.
We got one day. One day to build a bunch of stuff.
Trying to build this cool Skywarp deck that was not cool.
Twinblade, Skywarp, tanks.
Listen.
They all came up a little short.
I just wanted to play with Blitzwing. I like that card. And I've said it multiple times that playing Tank Tribal is just bad.
Listen.
So I built it anyway.
Listen.
And you know what? It was bad.
That's going to be the shortest verse video in the history of our verse videos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably. There was so much to talk about, though.
Anyway. So, that's our predictions, for that first event. But I want to go longer than one event, right?
Okay.
So, I want to say, by the time April 1st hits, which character or battle card do you think will show up in the most decks for the first month of the game?
So we're talking finishes, right?
Yeah.
Like top 4 or top 8?
Sure, we'll go top 8.
Okay. So, wow, that's tough. I can only pick one.
You can go one of each if you want.
That's what I'm saying, but I can only pick one.
I mean, it's, yeah.
One character and one battle card.
Yeah.
All right. So the battle card's super easy. It's mining pick. It's mining pick.
Okay.
Just mining pick.
Sure.
The character, I want to say Starscream, but I do feel that the first event might have it might have an availability and price barrier.
So I'm gonna go with that right away. Like
for the first event. So that weekend, next weekend, the 9th, there may be less people. They may want to have a Starscream deck. They don't know how to build it, and they don't want to spend $60 on a Starscream.
Or you just didn't open one in your case. Could happen.
Yeah, that could have happened.
You could have also not opened a swoop.
You could have. 2
cases.
Yeah. And you'll be ridiculed it forever.
The whole day.
For the rest of your life.
I don't know if you
forever. I'll remember. I will never forget. Never forget.
That's fair. That's fair.
So, I want to say Starscream, but, I mean, as much as it pains me and I want to see new stuff and cool stuff,
don't do it.
It's going to be Optimus Prime Battlefield Legend in the most slots until April. Now, maybe if we were talking...
well, we're going to talk again in a month.
We will talk about it again. I just think that the event on the 9th is probably too close, and it might prohibit some players playing that. But they already have their Optimus Prime deck, so they're just going to update it. They're going to play it, and they're going to try and get product to get their Starscream or whatever they're trying to do.
No, I totally agree.
So I think that guy's going to be he's going to take the most slots across those 3 events.
Yep. You want to know why, though? Because he didn't get worse.
He might have gotten worse.
I don't think so.
He might have. I don't know.
He got a better card pool.
He just got a bigger card pool. That doesn't mean it's better.
Yeah.
He just has more options.
Better options.
Right. But that also means people can make worse decisions.
Okay.
The more options you have, the more you can mess up, right?
Or he'll still just win games because he's Optimus Prime.
That's also a possibility. See, these are options. The more that we have, when we can choose from.
Yeah, so if I'm choosing, I can't disagree with you at all. I think Optimus Prime's still going to be all over top 8s and top 4s and wins and etc. Nothing today, like, I think I was very impressed with some cards today for sure, and some of the characters, but none of them did I read and go, that's better than Optimus Prime.
No.
So,
no.
There's that. So
nothing has usurped his spot on the pyramid of best character in the game.
I think like other decks may have gotten better supporting characters, so it'll make those decks good.
Make the decks good, not the character.
Playable.
Yes.
But I still think by the time it's all said and done that Optimus Prime is still going to be king of the mountain.
Yeah. As much as you don't want to hear it, and as much as you want to complain.
I'll tell you right now, though, both of us would definitely willingly agree that we hope we're wrong.
I don't want to be wrong.
He doesn't want it.
I don't want to be wrong, but I also don't want to play Optimus Prime, and I'm not going to play him.
Okay.
I'm going to play Starscream.
Well, I don't have a Starscream, so I'm probably going to play Optimus Prime.
Listen. I'm going to play Starscream.
All right, that's cool.
If you have to beg, borrow, and steal for that card, get it.
All right.
But you also need to get 3 mining picks.
Mark, turn your head. Look that way. Brian, grab that Starscream.
It's already in the back.
Oh, okay, cool. And then for my battle card, I can't be the same as you.
I mean, it's the best card. You can also be wrong.
Yeah, but
you can be wrong.
I don't want to say that.
It's okay.
So
I didn't want to say Optimus Prime.
Yeah,
I didn't want to do it, but
I stole my answer because
I had to be truthful.
There was no way I was not going to say Optimus Prime.
Right. What do you think I was going to say?
I don't know.
Kickback.
No.
That guy's way better than Optimus Prime.
Yeah, he should be banned.
He should be.
Kidding. Stefan. Man, this is tough. I don't know. There was a lot of good cards today. You know what? I'm going to go bold. I'm going to say Steamroll. I'm going to say after week 1.
You think you're high. You think there's going to be more copies of Steamroll in the top 4 of 3 events than Mining Pick.
If I have anything to say about it.
You are high because Mining Pick goes in your Steamroll decks.
He's right. So it can't be Steamroll.
Yeah.
Damn it. You know what? I'm going to say Improvised Shield. That doesn't count either because they're the same.
Yes! You want to say peace to tyranny? Hey, guess what? You know what box we can check? Mining Pick.
So, alright, so I had to go with blue card then, just to attempt.
Depending on the blue card, if it's with Optimus Prime Battlefield Legend, Mining Pick puts it on top.
It's totally going to be a Mining Pick.
I know it is.
It's not even close.
Best card in the game. Battle card.
It's not even close, probably. It's definitely be Mining Pick. I can't even argue that. Guys, Mining Pick's good, really. Really good.
It is. It's better.
If I had to go some other type of realistic option.
What do you think is... Okay, so the two best cards are just far and away.
Let's get away from them.
Okay, what do you think is going to be the most represented star card, star battle card?
Leap of Faith.
You think so?
Yeah. It should be. In my opinion, it should be. It gives you the most advantage in games. If I, I go back to that Optimus Megatron deck, if I were to build that deck, I'm playing 2 Leap of Faith in that deck. I think that's wrong.
Why? I think you play the double blue card.
See, once again, if you would let me finish, the second option would have been that. But, I can't... I mean, there's definitely points where, I envision that card better than Leap of Faith in that context.
Correct. But we also have to realize other people are just going to jam Leap of Faith in their deck.
Yeah, for sure, because it's that good.
It is that good. But it doesn't belong in every deck.
Not in every deck, no.
Not in every... If you have a star...
But it's definitely not Vandalize.
No.
It's not Vandalize.
It's not Vandalize.
It's not Lightning Bolt.
And I think that card is unplayable.
Yeah.
I was super high on that. That was the first star card they revealed.
And that's why.
And then the second one was Mounted Missiles.
Mounted Missiles, which already shit on that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to play Mounted Missiles rather than play Lightning Bolt. Because it's always good, even when you flip it.
But...
Right?
Yeah, I don't know any deck that's going to want to play.
And then there's Recon System that, unfortunately, probably won't see much play at all. And that card's really good.
Yeah. At least currently.
Yeah.
Maybe you get stronger characters in the next coming waves. They let you play with 3 stars.
If you get more barrages and you get more wheeljacks.
Yes.
You get more flame wars.
You don't have 13-star guys that are just so big and burly that you gotta play them. If you have extra flex spots.
If you can get a 7 that acts like a 9, you can get a 9 that acts like a 12. If you can get more cards like that, you can play those cards.
Yeah.
But in this current state of the game, when you have Optimus Prime and Starscream, you have these 13-star characters that are just so powerful that, sacrificing stars somewhere else to attempt to play this good card probably just isn't worth it.
Right, and because if you want to play these good cards, you're going to want to play multiple copies of it.
Yeah.
Except for Leap of Faith. That's one that's just...
a 24-star deck, you have 1 card left over, but you're probably just playing Leap of Faith because it's always going to be live for you, most likely.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's probably not worth playing... maybe it's worth playing 1 Mounted Missile, Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Yep.
But
if you can't make an aggressive 25-star team...
Yeah. Which is probably wrong.
You should probably get a calculator. Redo something.
And just make Decepticons.
Yeah. Or Grimlock and some stuff.
Yeah.
Sentinels.
Yeah. So...
So I guess that was also a bad question. Because that card just sticks out.
Alright. So, best character and battle card not named Optimus Prime or Mining Pick.
So...
At the end. So what is the second most played character and card?
Oh, that's easy. That's super easy too.
Go for it.
Starscream and Crown.
No. Not everyone's going to play that deck.
Well, it's because they're bad.
But not everyone's going to play that deck.
I know. But I think it's going to see more slots than another card.
No.
So it's...
I'm going to go Grimlock. I'm going to say Grimlock.
Old Grimlock.
Old Grimlock.
Old Grimlock.
Original Grimlock, I think you're going to see more of him than you'll see Starscreams.
That might be true.
That's what I'm going to go with, for sure.
That might be true.
I'm going to take that.
I'm going to still stick with Starscream
and
Crown.
I'm going to take Grimlock.
Even though Crown is not universal.
And I don't know.
You can only play it in half the decks.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's that. Yeah. No, but I'm gonna go Grimlock, and I'm just gonna say Grenade Launcher.
Okay. I think those two kind of go together. They're kind of ubiquitous.
Yeah, but Grenade Launcher.
I've never seen a Grimlock deck without Grenade Launchers.
Yeah, but like but the thing is, you're even playing Grenade Launchers like in your Starscream decks also. Some of them.
Yeah, and you're playing them in your Bugs deck, and you're playing them in other things.
They're just in every deck. They're in Cars. They're in Bugs. They're in Dinobots. They're in some Starscream decks. They're gonna be everywhere. So I just think Grenade Launcher is probably still gonna be one of the best cards.
Yeah, the card's not bad.
No, it's not.
It's not bad.
No,
it's just it wasn't Optimus Prime.
No, it wasn't.
And
you know why?
That guy did not always play Grenade Launcher.
He probably won't. Maybe he
There are
won't.
orange versions will. If you have Steamroll, you'll play it.
Yeah. All right. Well, then I'll stand by my Grenade Launcher pick.
Sure. But then that's Optimus Prime too.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's whatever. It's gonna count.
Yeah. But you should probably be playing Mind Pick over the Grenade Launcher. So you put the Steamroll on top and play it.
You're probably gonna do that too.
Right.
But we're not talking about that anymore.
Okay. All right. Fair. Your call's probably right for second most represented cards. Maybe the character's not, but the battle card's probably correct.
People like Grimlock.
I know they like Grimlock. People also like Planes. Just because someone likes it
You're not building a Plains deck. You're building a Starscream deck.
I understand. Well, I am.
People should be.
I'm building a Starscream deck.
Don't build Plains.
Unless that plane is Starscream.
Yeah, that's
Decepticon King.
That's a plane.
And just don't play with any plane cards. Don't play with anything and say put on planes only.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't play Bombing Run.
Don't do that either.
Yeah. But you can play Mining Pick and Decepticon card.
Yeah.
With your plane.
And Security Console.
Yeah. So you have to almost play 9 cards with Starscream. So you have a
31 card battle deck.
31 card battle deck.
That's fair.
So there you go. You don't have to make those decisions.
If we're being, it's probably 28 cards because you're playing three treasure hunts.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna keep dwindling. I feel like a lot of our Starscream decks, at the end of the day, are gonna be like.
It's just a core.
It's gonna be at minimum like maybe 5 cards different, maybe.
I can see it being a little more if you're gonna play blue or orange, but it's
maybe. Maybe.
It's gonna have like a 12 or 15 card core.
Yeah.
That if you play Starscream, you play these cards,
which isn't bad
because they Voltron Starscream,
and that's not bad.
No,
like it's not bad. Like it still gives enough different.
I mean, if you look at Optimus Prime, it played 12 to 15 of the cards in every single version. You always played the bigger they are. You played Leap into Battle, regardless of what.
Well, you had to play those cards, but yeah.
Right. So everyone has played Plasma Burst, and now all of them have played One Shell Stand.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much everyone I've seen has played.
You're definitely playing Leap. You're playing in Inspiring Leaderships. You're playing the Armors.
Right, unless you're the orange version. But the orange version still played Leap into Battle.
Yeah.
They still played the bigger they are because they pump Optimus.
Yeah.
So that's probably like 9 cards that are always with Optimus. And then if you're in the blue shell, your other cards there's probably at least another 12 there.
Yeah.
Reinforced plating, trying to play body armor,
yeah.
Trying to play some number of treasure hunts, maybe 1, maybe 2, but definitely leadership as well. So,
all right. Well, once again, next week on the 9th.
On the 9th, the Adventurers Guild in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
On the 16th.
Top Deck Games in New Jersey.
And on the 30th.
Showcase in Swarthmore, Pennsylvania.
And if you're going to PAX East, I'm jealous.
Cool. Awesome.
He's a little jealous.
I am a little jealous.
And have fun.
Have fun.
I can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah. We'll give you some content on what to play.
It's a lot of games, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Mark.
Dan.
See you next time.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.